Hey, cheer up from What's Trending. We're at MIP TV, and guess who it is? Burnie
TV.
Burns from
Hey.
Rooster Teeth.
How are you doing?
Good. How are you? How are you enjoying MIP?
I'm in the south of France. I couldn't be doing any better.
Yes. What brings you to MIP TV?
So we're here for the first time. Rooster Teeth has never really done anything like this before, just because we're traditionally, over the last 10 years, a group of almost purely creators. So the business side of Rooster Teeth is something that we've always needed to develop a little bit more. And last year we did the acquisition with Fullscreen. And one of the main drivers for that was when we were looking at everything we were going to need to do in the next couple of years for competing against like HBO and Netflix and everybody else, is getting more involved in things like MIP, which is a marketplace for international television shows. And Fullscreen just knows that backwards and forwards. When we first got started back in 2003, our first show was a narrative show. It was Red versus Blue. It was a cartoon based in the game Halo. And then ever since then, we've always focused on making franchises and making narrative shows. A lot of people, especially when YouTube came along, a lot of people focused on personality, like hosted content or vlogging was huge for a long time. And we didn't really do a lot of that. We always stuck to narratives, and we always stuck to franchise shows. And I think the evolution that's taken place has kind of taken place around us, where we always had a feeling that people were going to move in this direction and all content would be digital at some point, just because of the pervasiveness of technology. But in the last 18 months, that eventuality has now become this imminent evolution that's happening right now. It's like somebody described it here as the ketchup moment, where like people have been hitting the bottle, of ketchup, and now all the ketchup is running out. That's the moment that we're having right now.
Seems messy.
It seems a little messy. It's a weird metaphor, but it's one that I understood perfectly. I said that's a great way to put it.
Lastly, we got on Twitter a question. Someone wanted to get advice from you for an up-and-coming content creator.
I think the toughest part about getting started today is discoverability. Because YouTube used to put out the stats, and the last time I read it, every minute on YouTube, 100 hours of footage are uploaded. That means if you wanted to watch every video on YouTube, you would fall 4 days behind every minute you tried to do that. So it's a lot of noise to cut through.
And also Vine, Snapchat, all these places that you're not even on Snapchat.
Yeah, and Periscope. Yeah.
Periscope,
I stay away. I try not to, because it's like, I got on Twitter. I avoided Instagram, and it's just like I want to focus on what I'm doing and what I'm making. Otherwise, you just end up in like this marketing loop of yourself, self-promotional loop, which is a very powerful thing. And you have to. I was just in a movie with Cameron Dallas.
Yes.
And I asked him. I said, "How did you get your start?" He said, "Instagram." And I was like, "Look, I know you talk to people all day who don't get this stuff." I said, "I work in this industry. I don't get what you just said. How did you start on Instagram?" And he got started posting
great
selfies.
Angles.
He's a beautiful guy. Basically, is what it boils
great
down
abs.
to. So I would say stick with it. If you're starting a new show, we make 6 episodes before we put out the first one. That way we guarantee there'll be a consistency of the shows coming out. And I think consistency of delivery and scheduling is probably your best bet for discoverability.
Awesome. Burnie Burns, it's a pleasure as always.
Pleasure.
All of you guys, like, subscribe. See you soon. Bye.
Tell us where you live down below.